Good morning, everybody. Good let's just make it Tuesday morning. That's what the morning will make it. Roger B. here along with say hi to Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Hello.
In the house here. Of course, Charles Frazier here.
Over here.
All right, and glad to be back with you guys. Missed you yesterday, but I was on a Mother's Day long weekend mission, and mission was successful.
So, take a long weekend. That was the mission.
Yeah, that was it. Well, not for me. Not for me. It was for my wife's mother. So, and for my wife,
the
who is a mother.
sacrifices you make.
I just have to, you know.
Yeah, took one for the team.
Well, you know, they just call me the Uber of the family. You know. Yeah.
Drive us here and there.
Yeah, drive here. There. Yeah.
Does that extend to your work family as well? Like, if I need a ride somewhere,
call me.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, call me. We'll figure out.
How about
something.
the listening audience?
Listening audience need a ride? Call Charles.
No.
That's right.
Put that cell phone out there, Roger.
Yes, exactly. Mornings in Meridian. We're so glad you're out there and tuned in. Lots to talk about this morning because that's just what we do for the next couple hours, and we need your help too by doing that, by getting in touch with us by the phone, and you can do that by 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. Put you right here. Did I miss any good fights yesterday? I mean, everything pretty calm yesterday.
Rob and I didn't fight. We were close to it, but
man.
you know, yeah.
Okay.
He came
I'll
in and
meet
kind of
you out
separated
by the shed.
Meet you out back by the dumpster.
I did hear that the previous sheriff called in the radio station.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
The topic
what was that about?
Well, the topic of those cameras was brought up again.
And to the $400,000 of taxpayer money.
Topic of the cameras.
The cameras, the old cameras, the 86 and the 43.
Yeah, something like that.
Height.
Omaha.
Right. It's an audible. Let's change it. Wow.
He said that the sheriff's department, in his
they have
administration,
cameras in, right?
He said they were being, when they built that complex, well, the sheriff's department building, rather, not the complex, they were being proactive and not reactive.
Well, there you go. Of course, now, and go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we talked a lot about it, and not to rehash it
No,
all.
no,
but I
no.
mean,
It's fine. That's catching me up to date.
The police department, new building, is a decade old or less, and certainly camera technology was available then and was probably required by many jurisdictions. So we wonder why were cameras not installed, or if they were, why they're not sufficient now to cover. And I think that the real problem that we saw was the incident that happened at the police station, and this is a reactive, kind of response to it as opposed to being proactive. But is this sort of thing going to happen again? And why did it happen? It didn't happen because there weren't cameras there.
It happened because they were lax on procedure.
Exactly. So a little more training.
When you come into my police station, I expect you to know procedure.
It's a procedure.
Procedure.
Don't you sit in that chair when I'm talking to you.
And next time you come in here, wear something made out of some sort of cloth. Mornings in Maria. Yeah, it doesn't take long to go down my cousin Vinny Trail.
Yeah, so that was a big.
Okay, that was it then.
That kind of dominated, I believe, the second hour of the show yesterday. So
Lots of questions.
yeah,
No answers.
still lots of questions from the folks out there, and of course we talked about protest yesterday for a little while, and we did play a nice clip yesterday from a CNN anchor.
Fareed Zakaria,
who made a lot of sense yesterday.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. We're like, is this guy on CNN?
This guy's on CNN, and he said basically, Roger, and
I think they know what time it is over there.
Well, and you'll love this. He said if your last name wasn't Trump and this was a trial going on, you'd never be in the courtroom. And I was like, what? A CNN guy said that?
But and had a good analysis of the current, kind of political climate. What he thinks is going to happen with as far as what it looks like with the race, and how Biden is inept, and Trump has a stronger candidacy at this point. So,
and we've seen once again yesterday why we don't want Kamala Harris to be the president of the United States.
Oh, gosh.
As if we needed another reason. Now, what did she do yesterday?
Oh, Lord, yesterday. Oh, gosh.
Did I miss it?
I forget what group she was
late.
in front of. It was one of those large acronymed organizations. Do you remember what it was, Rob?
Yeah, something like that.
But she was just talking about, some people that open the door for you hold it open, and sometimes they don't, so you need to kick the
bleeping door
expletive door down. And the expletive began with the sixth letter of the alphabet.
Okay. Wow.
A, B, C, D, E.
So we'll assume that it wasn't like a Baptist organization.
Oh, no.
I mean, is that fair?
I don't think it
or
was
any sort of Christian
No, it
organization,
wasn't. No, it wasn't. I don't
Okay.
think it was that. But
Well, and I'm going to use the CNN anchor's analogy about, the last name Trump. If it would have been a last name Trump using that word at a meeting like that, it would be top headlines over every single channel this morning.
But she laughed about using it,
Yeah.
and
She
the
giggled?
people in the
She
crowd
giggled, yeah.
laughed about her using it. So I guess it was okay for that scenario.
She ain't getting
No
reelected.
big deal.
Yeah, she ain't getting reelected at all. No way.
Laughing it off.
If Biden gets reelected, I'm the real president. So
Oh gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not a laugh.
Help me,
It's a psychotic laugh.
mommy,
Maniacal.
mommy, help me.
Anyway.
Yep. So
Wow.
that was the recap of the show yesterday. Kind of
Yeah, well, I didn't hear about
the
it.
four dummies version. So
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Two dummies here, but today there are three.
yeah. I just think that it's interesting. Oh, another thing we learned yesterday, just by kind of thumbing through the pages of the news, we did find out apparently, according to the testimony of Mr. Cohen, Donald Trump did personally approve the payment to Stormy Daniels.
oh my God.
I mean, he approved the expenditure of his money. He proactively, as we're talking,
Yeah.
said, "I'll approve this expenditure." So that's personal. Personal approval. Okay. Kind of wondering how cross-exam is going to go today.
Ooh.
I think that'd be more interesting.
Get your popcorn ready. Yeah. It's a shame we don't have a camera in the courtroom
know,
for that
right?
one.
After they recount all the
Judge
times,
Ito. Yeah, put the cameras back.
all the times he lied to the
We could
courts
fly.
and
We
Congress.
could fly the Meridian Police Department drone inside the door, and we could just float it around the room.
I'll never notice.
They have a drone. Does it have a camera on it? I guess it would.
I hope so. I mean,
It better.
if not, it's just a hobby, isn't it? Really. But, yeah.
Or how many cameras does it have? Well, maybe I should ask that. It's a drone with how
400
many
cameras.
cameras? Oh, okay.
Fly it around the station. Actually.
I'm sorry. What was I thinking when I said that? I was just
Hey, can they stop making fun of us?
moving on. Well, it looks like I am going to have more time off.
Okay.
I like Rob's response there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, according to this survey, Florida beaches that I should visit.
Ah.
Okay.
And here's the list of the Florida beaches I should visit. Siesta Key, that's in Sarasota. Mm-hmm. Been there since I was a kid.
So you don't need to visit
Been
it
that.
then. You're good.
Destin, Florida.
You've been there.
Been
Yeah.
there.
Crossed
Done
it
that
off.
one.
All right.
Clearwater Beach. Been there as a kid and as an adult. But Cocoa Beach, I've not been to, nor Amelia Island. So those are the top five you gotta go to.
Free state of Florida.
So I got to get those on my bucket list here. The next, are you a beach person? Do you go to the beach, Charles?
I mean, I went to the beach for spring break. I'm not, the beach in the summer, it's generally not my scene. Too crowded, too hot. I'd rather be in the mountains, you know what I mean? In a cabin, isolated, no one around, that sort of thing.
kind of a, you kind of like being alone, don't you?
Well, I mean, with the family's okay. But,
Yeah.
I don't really like crowds.
But even with the family, you like to be in that chair
I'm
with a
gonna
book.
the chair.
You know,
Good to go.
and say, all go have fun. I'll be right
I'll
here.
be right here. Right.
Yeah. You
maybe
like
true. That
you're a
may be true.
loner.
Comfortable
Rob,
being
now,
alone.
Now, Rob's a Florida fan, but do you ever make it to the beach?
Yeah, we're going next month.
You wear a hat.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
I gotta wear one too.
Most definitely.
Now that was mean. Did
No,
you
I
wear a
like.
hat?
I was concerned for his health. I mean, come on.
I like to get the binoculars and people watch and be like, I can't believe what they're doing down there. Can you believe that? What they're
That's
wearing? down there?"
dangerous because they're like, look at that pervert. He's looking at all them girls in the bikini.
And I just go, hey!
Looking good. Feeling good.
The morning beach report.
The Morning Beach Report. Let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. We want to hear what you have to say. So, good morning. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Oh, that was mean. That was mean. I guess they realized they weren't going to be able to scam this phone caller, I guess, today. Anyhow, let's see here. So, there's a couple beaches I need to visit. Haven't been there yet. Let's see. What I can't understand when you're talking about you don't like the crowded because.
Well, I like the beach, though. I mean, but in We went spring break, and it actually was an area that was not very crowded. But we went Thanksgiving one time, Dauphin Island, and there was like nobody there, and it was perfect. Weather
Isn't
was
that
cool.
great? Yeah.
It was like 70 degrees, 65, and I loved it. So.
What I don't understand is how people can find enjoyment. I mean, it's like you really determine you're going to go to the beach. When you go to these places where you're like the fifth row of umbrellas back.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like there's like a horde of people out there, and it's not so much you have the view, you just have the view of somebody else's chair and their little sweaty little sunscreen back, and it's like
that's like usually like when we go.
man.
Like I'm a morning person anyway. I'll get up in the morning and go walk down there where there's nobody there, like
Right.
bright and early in the morning where the sun's coming up. It's always pretty that time of day. Now, several hours later,
oh yeah,
all hands on deck.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's down there.
yeah, that early morning or that late evening, those
early
are good,
morning. Those
are good beach times.
That's my favorite time to go is early in the morning.
There you go. It's Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. Well, there's a song called I Go Walking After Midnight. So anytime after midnight,
Some go
it's
stumbling.
a.m.
A good old Patsy Cline song. How about that?
I just got one question for you. I thought client attorney information was privileged and couldn't be discussed or talked about anything but the client and the attorney. What happened to that?
The attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he was
Information.
Trump's attorney.
Yeah,
and why
I
couldn't he
guess
disclose
because
the
it's
company?
Trump, we don't exercise those rules. I guess.
Yeah, the word privilege goes out the door.
Yeah, if your last name is Trump, it doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
That's what I was wondering. That applies to everybody but Trump and the Democrats and whoever they choose.
Yeah. So,
I don't know how this tone and his attorney has been coming. I didn't listen to the news, but it would be amazing if it would backfire on the Democrats. And the most interesting thing to me would be if they, when it goes to a jury, that if it's an unbiased jury, they find him innocent on all charges, and they ought to charge the district attorney and the judge for malpractice.
well, yeah, that's kind of a dream world there, but be nice though. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But I'm just really curious. I'm curious as to what a jury is going to do in a situation like this, because I'm sure I do not see how you can find a juror who probably has some sort of a not just. I don't see how you can find a juror to sit in this juror box that's going to be an objective listener in this case.
Well, and then go to the judge. The judge,
who's clearly not objective.
Well, I mean, he's a Biden donor on paper.
So yeah,
It's most biased judge and fourth prosecutor, and I feel I don't understand why they even was able to bring it before a judge, because there's supposed to be something called statute of limitations, and they have completely ignored that, from what I understand.
I just wish that Alvin Bragg, who is the DA in this case, would have this much enthusiasm for other criminals that are actually doing crimes in New York that he has. If he
really
would
work on making New York safer instead of spending all his attention on this.
Yeah, I just wonder if we had that kind of enthusiasm, what the streets would look like in New York.
Very well put.
Yeah, if they could go after Joe and Hunter Biden and Hillary Clinton and so many that's so blatantly guilty of crimes as bad or worse.
No, I personally
Donald Trump.
I personally think they should have moved the trial to the sanctuary of the United Methodist Church in Sucalina, Mississippi.
Lord,
yeah, we could hold court out here.
That's kind of where that's where I wish a trial would have taken place.
Yeah. Well, they don't even have to listen to any of the evidence. They could go to the jury right now, and they would come to a verdict of guilty.
Yeah. And I'm asking, this whole idea of, because I look at it from a male perspective. So I ask my wife and I ask other ladies I know, does this make a deal to you? And I mean,
no,
that's like, No, this doesn't phase them at all as far as their desire to have Trump president. This is like, I guess if to ensure his election, maybe we should keep him in the courtroom until the first part of November.
Well, that might work. France has a different outlook on infidelity. If they got a man running for a high office and he hadn't ventured outside the marriage, they think something's wrong with him. They don't even consider that any problem whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I think, I think if you're going down the commandment list and they're trying to really just emphasize his, embarrass him with his adultery case, then writing down the line there from that commandment is bearing false witness, and there's a whole lot of that going on in this courtroom.
Oh, good. Absolutely. There's so much.
So there's enough mess to go around to everybody up there in that situation.
Yeah. Well, that big man said it years ago before me. He that is without sin cast the first stone.
Mm.
But anyway, that's my opinion. So
yeah,
it's worth about 2 cents. With that and $5, you can go to town and get a cup of coffee.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Now the good thing that we've learned here is for politicians, they don't have to waste money on hush money because evidently it doesn't work.
Right. No, it doesn't.
You don't have to write those checks anymore, guys.
Yeah.
That's another question. Will he get his hush money back now that she's broken the rule?
Ooh, a refund. Yeah, I think it's legit.
They would
should go out very well. He'll have to sue her to do it. That's another lawsuit against the biased judge, probably.
And that who knows what will come on the other. I am kind of curious what life will be like for the judge and for the prosecutor should Trump become the president the second time.
Oh, well, he's such a kind, forgiving person. Look what he did to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
He completely, you might say, forgave her.
Well, yeah.
His comment was she suffered enough. She hadn't suffered.
I think we all suffered enough with her, too.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I love Hillary.
Talking about suffering.
That's the
Poor
real
Bill.
suffering,
Poor Bill.
Bill.
I know.
Just
bad for him.
Somebody breaks the rules and the law.
Yeah.
I can forgive them, but they still need to be punished by the letter of the law.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what kind of meltdown she experienced the night of the 8th of November of 2016, but I do know, and on into the morning of November 9th. But for her and her aspirations, and that might have been the closest to hell that she's. All the Bill stuff is pretty much.
Oh, that was a day at the ballpark right there.
All the Bills philandering.
Yeah.
That was like you said, a walk in the ballpark.
Walk in the ballpark, yeah.
Compared to that night.
She's French when it comes to that. They accept that sort of thing.
Anyhow.
In France. Oh, well, that's my opinion, and, well, you know what you can do with it. So I hope everyone has a great day.
Oh, thank you there.
That's awesome.
I do remember the
Well,
line.
it's like what were we talking about yesterday, Charles, with the CNN anchor. He was talking about the longer that this trial goes on, the sympathy that folks have for Trump. They look. What did he use the word martyr yesterday? I believe it was. So
they did. I think he used the word sham and a couple of others that were fairly descriptive. So yeah, and I think that it gives Trump publicity, and the more people see him, they look at him as a victim, and that's obviously not what the judge or anybody else who has this agenda to attack Trump wants. The Democratic Party, I guess you can say, as a whole. So it's actually working to his advantage.
Because what did I tell you last week, Roger? I think it was Thursday or Friday. The main goal here is this. Because we know that if he is found guilty by the jury, that it'll go to appeal, and whenever that appeal process happens, the main goal is we want this guy to have this tagline on his name: convicted felon Donald Trump is running for the highest office in the land.
And instead of former President Donald Trump, they will say
convicted felon Donald Trump.
So they want to put that.
That's the main goal right here.
Well, that's the goal, but the good news is, and you talked about it by people recognizing this for what it is, apparently the large voting bloc understands what's being done here, and they don't like it. They don't like the Americans are speaking up and saying, we see what's happening here, and enough's enough. This is just ridiculous.
Well, did you see the numbers this morning of one particular voting block? How the numbers have shifted dramatically in the last 4 years. We're talking about the African American vote.
By a large percentage.
It is a big number, and I've actually got it for you right here. In 2020, Biden got 91% of the black vote, and Trump got 8%. Pretty big difference right there. 2024, as we sit here today, according to the New York Times and Siena polls, 63% of African Americans support Biden, 23% Trump. That's a big change right there. And we're only sitting here on May the 14th right now. That's a big, big number right there.
Well, and the Lawrence there on Fox News.
Yeah, Lawrence Jones, yeah.
He said it best. He says, well, because in 2016, Biden said, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. And so he said he got the black vote, and they don't like at all what they've seen.
Nope.
I mean, not in 2020. That was.
I think one of the biggest issues in that voting block is the economy. I think, and among many other things, like a lot of other average Americans. But I think the economy. They brought that up this morning. They're looking at that square in the eye and be like, "Man, I can't afford."
They saw their
most of this stuff now.
They saw their Biden economic blessed dollar shrink like a T-shirt in the laundry, Boom.
But I think the bigger issue with that is that Biden doesn't acknowledge that there's an issue with that. And instead of saying, hey, we're working on it, we're going to fix it, this is what we're going to do, he's
Polling's
like,
wrong.
What problem?
Well,
what are you talking about? What inflation?
Polling's wrong.
It's not a problem.
And then when he sits down and is either 60 Minutes or CNN and basically tells everyone, oh, everything is fine. Your money, you can.
Like, wait a minute, it's not fine.
You've got all this extra money. You are completely out of touch.
Or
out of touch if you're not addressing the issues.
Exactly.
Or you're believing what you've been told, Mr. President. You just say whatever you want to say. The press has got your back. They'll report it. Whatever you say.
Well, apparently the press
whatever you say is going to be believed by the people.
CNN is turning.
Well,
it's a major shift.
Well, CNN had a board meeting, and they had
said our ratings.
They sit around the table there and they said, "What are we doing here? we're the Titanic, and the band has even stopped playing."
That's right. They jumped ship.
The orchestra.
The rats
stopped.
have left. Yeah.
So that's they finally get it.
That's right.
They finally get it. It's like, no, we can't. We can't survive by being a unilateral supporter for the Democrat Party. All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. Of course, we do need to get a break in here because we've got some things coming up we want to talk about. So why don't we do just that? I'm Roger, along with Rob.
Morning.
And, of course, Charles is in the house here today.
Yeah, over here.
And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Our next guest, we'll introduce him in just a moment, but he can hear himself. That's a good thing. All right, we're going to take a minute just to also say a big thank you to, well, the folks down there at Purvis Business Machines. Right now, you know, you don't want to be in business without all your proper machines talking to each other.
That is exactly right. Connectivity is the key word for Purvis Business.
I like the way you say that, connectivity.
Connectivity.
Oh, man, that's a great word.
Does it connect with you? Well, they will connect everything with your devices. And you know what's extraordinary about them is that they will do it all for you. They will set up your entire office suite, computers, tablets, everything talking to that printer, scanner, copier. And so you don't even have to worry about it, because I know that that's something that I don't even want to deal with. And I'm sure that you don't either. So all you got to do is call Purvis at 601-693-COPY. That number is easy to remember. Or go to their website, gopurvis.com. Or it's just so easy to go down to 4505 Highway 39 North and see them in their wonderful showroom. And they have lease return color copiers down there. You can save up to 85% on those. Can't save up to 85% on anything these days. In fact, everything's going up. Well, they aren't. Those lease return color copiers are going down. And I tell you what, you should go pick one up before they're gone. Go see them. 4505 Highway 39 North. GoPurvis.com. 601-693-COPY.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian, and it's the 2 best hours of local live talk radio. Roger here, along with Rob.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, we've got Charles.
And, of course, yeah.
Always a good team. But now we're going to have, well, he's been on our show before. He served 30 years in the military. He served 30 years in the Meridian Police Department and law enforcement. Well, and, you know,
sorry.
I don't think anybody could work an Honorable Bill accent like this guy. He could calm everybody down. But no, just a great American, a great citizen for our area. Let's welcome back to the microphone as we approach Run for the Wall once again.
Yep.
Veteran and great citizen, Mr. Patrick Kirby.
Hello.
Hey. There you go.
I've
Welcome
never
back.
had that before.
Don't get used to it either. Okay.
You gotta get curse words.
We can do that, too.
Oh, yeah.
No. It's good to see you again, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for letting me come on.
You've been trimming your beard a little bit. That's
Just
good.
a little. I last time I think I was on about twice as much.
Yeah, you kind of cut back a little bit.
Yeah, it's a woman thing. You
Kind
know.
of got a Jerry Garcia look going on. I think it's kind of cool.
If I just get my hair long enough,
That's right.
I miss old
Got to
Jerry.
gain a little weight, you know.
Are we able to get him in the Facebook frame? Is he in the?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in. Okay.
We're good.
Good deal. Sir, of course, being the veteran, now you served in the Marines, is that right?
I started my Marine Corps career in 1980.
Yeah.
And got out in 1990. Made it here to Meridian because of my first ex-wife, and she left me here. And anyway, I flourished.
We're writing a country song here somewhere.
First ex-wife. I like that. So, which leads to how many ex-wives are there, you know?
2.
Okay, that's not bad. All right.
So, but anyway,
I followed
then
my
I joined
first
the
ex-wife.
Army National Guard, and I finished up my career in the Army National Guard. I did 4 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Wow.
And you know, I'm still here, so
Thank the Lord.
That's exactly what I keep saying.
Not because of the tours in Iraq.
No,
but
no,
I'm talking
I'm
about
still
the
here.
ex-wives.
Yeah.
That's what. That's the.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
the real trophy there.
And I've enjoyed a good life here in Meridian. I'm actually from Texas, and I keep telling everybody I'm Texan, but everybody else tells me no, you're
Yeah.
Mississippian now.
Yeah, of course.
At this point.
At this point, you
We've
definitely are.
adopted you.
And you served on the police force while you were in the Guard.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
so, when did you retire from the Meridian Police
I
Department?
retired from the Meridian Police Department in 2020.
Okay.
And I've enjoyed a good career there too, and I'm glad that I did, and you know, helping the city is what it's all about, and I keep telling everybody, you know, if you're doing something that doesn't hurt anybody, then you're doing a good job, and but if you're doing something that could potentially hurt somebody, then you need to step back and take a look at it, and don't do those things.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Patrick. 'Cause
Yes, sir.
It's not often we have this wealth of knowledge at our microphones when it comes to the Meridian Police Department. What advice would you give to somebody who's serving in the police department now, or they're considering serving? Either way, what advice would you give them what law enforcement advice? What would you say to them? This might be the saving moment for some law enforcement officer out there.
The first and foremost, be aware. And a lot of police officers that I've seen, and I'm not talking about just Meridian, I'm talking about literally. I've been all around the world and all around this country. And a lot of police officers ride around with their windows up. Well, if they're doing that, they can't hear. Not what's going on outside. So, and I realize that it's cold in the winter, but there's a heater in the car, and then I also know that it's hot in the summer, and there's an air conditioner in the car.
But you would ride around, you'd patrol with your windows down?
Patrol my windows down, and I train my officers. I call them all my officers, but I've trained about 30 of the police officers that have been through here, and I'm glad some gone on, and some of them still here. I try to make sure that they understood that the people should be able to see them and know them and for who they are. The fact of the matter is, I still walk around today. I've been retired for 4 years now almost, and people still come to me and call me Officer Kirby. So obviously they know who I am. So obviously that keeps me on my toes as well, because I can't just go out there and do stupid things. The fact of the matter is, the people do know who their officers are. They do recognize their officers, whether they're in uniform or out. But a child should be able to know who they are as well. And to me, it's important that, you got a uniformed officer out there. Well, a uniformed officer should look like a uniformed officer. But that's just me. I spent too many years in a uniform.
So you're talking about a certain dress code.
Yeah, dress code. And, and the officer should
have a nice uniform.
Have a good uniform, pressed out, the whole 9 yards, and walk around with pride, chest out. And I realize that vest makes it hard to put your chest out. I totally understand that. But, hey, you need to stay in shape. You need to be ready to do what you got to do. Be prepared, and I'm talking about in your mind. Know what you're going to do when you get out of that car. The moment you step out that car, you're on. You're in green.
Did you ever have to do a foot chase?
Yes, sir. Oh, Jesus. I done a bunch of those.
I like that.
Remember, I was just out of the Marine Corps when I came on as a police officer back in 1993.
Oh, mercy.
And so I was in great shape. And now, towards my latter years, I didn't do too much chasing. I had young officers to send that way.
Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Sipping my coffee.
You chase him down that alley, I'm going to drive around the block.
I had an older officer when I came on, and he was my training officer. And before he even stopped the car, I was out of the car chasing a guy down the road. And going behind one of the project buildings, and I said, I'm right behind the guy, and the guy turned around, and I mowed him down. Wow!
Because he stopped to look
because he
back.
didn't know there was anyone chasing him. And the officer got mad at me when I got back to the car. He said, "Don't you ever do that again." I said, "Do what? Get out of the car before I put it in park."
Oh.
Okay.
You were on the go.
But that was then, and now is now.
Now is now. But, I like your response. I'll never forget that one. Any foot chases? Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I know that's not why you came to talk on the radio this morning,
Yes,
but I just can't help but kind of go down that road because
I don't mind.
It's you're always fun to talk to. Always got some good advice and some good stories. But some advice you might have now is directed toward people welcoming the riders that are running for the wall this next week.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
The Run for the Wall began in 33 years ago.
Wow,
and they started out as just a couple of guys who had a wild hair, and they said, you know what, let's just ride from here to D.C. and go to the Memorial Wall. They were Vietnam vets, and both of them Marines, and they got about 150 miles. So, long ways. Let's go back to the house and have a beer. So they didn't make it that first year, but the next year they were more prepared and they knew what they were
Brought
doing.
the beer with them.
Yeah, they brought the beer with
That's
them.
the way to go. Yeah.
So, but anyway, they've been riding for those who can't. And basically they've not only garnered other veterans to ride with them, but they've garnered veteran families to go. And it's become just this really big thing that now it's up to 4 routes that go across, starting in California, go all the way to D.C., of bikers. And Meridian is on the southern route, and Meridian, and this is not no lie, this is their own words. Meridian, Mississippi, is the best stop that they have going from California to D.C.
Wow.
And the reason why is because we wash their clothes.
Yeah.
That's something they don't get anywhere. We also feed them a home-style cooked meal, and I'm talking about a home-style cooked meal. We're talking about hamburger steak, boneless chicken thighs. We're talking about green beans, mashed potatoes. We're giving them an actual salad. We give them drinks. No, not real drinks, but I mean, we
Sweet
get
tea.
Sweet tea.
You gotta get sweet
And
tea.
you got to have sweet tea in Mississippi.
That's
so,
right. That's
you know,
right.
And, you know, they got juices in the morning. We'll give them fruits. We'll give them juices, of course. Well, McDonald's is throwing in the burrito, those little burritos, the breakfast burritos, and Queen City Truck Stop's throwing in sausage biscuits.
Oh, wow.
And so they get fed really
Magnolia
good.
Restaurant.
They get fed really good coming and then going. And so with that, this place being here, the local motels and hotels giving them a discount on their rates. Those that go the hard way, that choose to stay, the county has allowed us to use the Ag Center. And so those folks stay there at the Ag Center all night long. We have folks that will stay with them all night long, watch over them.
That's fantastic.
You know, the Meridian Police Department is also assisting. Myself, along with them, will be riding to Tallulah, Louisiana to bring them in, and we'll also escort them out. The Meridian Police Department is the only police department across the nation that actually literally escorts them from the state limit to the state limit. Literally.
Nice.
And so now that don't really say a lot when you think that you only got a small state. Mississippi's not that small a state.
It's a long drive across.
But it's not Texas. And I understand that. So I'm not putting down Texas. I am Texan.
That's
but
right.
the fact of
You
the
would
matter
never
is-
put down Texas.
No, sir. But the fact is, the Run for the Wall is a once-a-year thing. It's to make sure that Congress and our people up there running the government doesn't forget about the fact that we still have over 58,000 people that have not made it home from the various skirmishes that we've had across this world.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm talking about, and not just across this world, but also
we're talking MIAs here, folks.
yes, MIAs, POWs, the prisoners of wars. We don't want them to be forgotten. And we want closure. That's exactly it. I totally understand. But if we can bring these people home, that's what we need to be doing. We need to concentrate on that. And I'm not saying run our government from there, but yes, sir, we can't forget the people who made sure that the rest of us are still the way we are, doing what we can do.
Tell us how our listeners can support, but also witness this great ride. This will be a week from.
It'll be Monday.
It'll be a week from yesterday.
Yep.
Monday. I guess that's the 20th.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On the 20th, they come in. They should be coming in somewhere between 4 and 4:30.
Yeah.
Hopefully closer to 4:30. And I'm looking to see around 350 bikes, not including my own. And we're gonna be bringing them in. It'd be great on I-20. It would be great if we could get people out on the overpasses, starting from Lauderdale County, and make it here. They're going to come right on through on I-20, 59. They're going to take a right on the exit for Jimmy Rogers Parkway. We're going to turn right there at Jimmy Rogers Parkway. It'd be great to see folks there waving a flag. And then they're going to go down to Highway 19 South. They're going to hang a left there at Highway 19 South. And at Highway 19 South, it'd be great to see people there along the side of the road, but not in the road. And then we're going to turn into the Ag Center, and it'd be great to have a welcoming party there too.
And when you say inviting them to stand on the overpasses, which is pretty cool because you get a great view of them coming into town. And I just so you know, Officer Kirby is not asking you to stand in the street.
No.
The city does block off a little section for pedestrians to be able to stand there and do that.
Yes, they do.
I think particularly on the
fire department gets out there with that great big flags,
Martin Luther King exit.
Absolutely.
And then, I guess the other exits too.
Absolutely, and they help out a lot, and the police department helps out a lot, and I tell you what, we even get the sheriff's deputies out there, so we get everybody. and we all the help I get. I'm just a small. I'm the director for the Veterans Appreciation Committee, and we're just a small little group of folks that make sure that the Run for the Wall come here, gets escorted properly, gets food, and gets their clothing taken care of. But I need all the help I can get. If you want to volunteer, come on out. I mean, I need someone to help me get their clothing together and get it to the washateria. And let's see, it's My Family Laundry is who's doing the laundry this year. Sadly, I lost my laundryman this year. He sold. Him and his wife decided to retire.
I hear you.
And God bless George Warner. So anyway, the folks there, Greg Tell, with My Family Laundry over on I think it's 10th Avenue and 19th Street. So they've stepped in their shoes, and they're going to take on the big deal of taking care of these folks through the night. Their clothing.
Awesome. That's
so
awesome.
It's amazing that God has provided again for us this year, and because we were lost. Well, you know how hard it is to clean 200 loads of laundry.
My wife does. I don't.
200.
Wow.
Well, I mean, over
in
a
just
couple years.
in just a
yeah.
couple of hours.
For laundry again.
Actually, no, she'd do that within the year, I guess.
Yeah.
She was up one every day. We could probably take a load or two at the house, maybe.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're volunteering now. Yeah.
No, volunteering her.
Okay, Debbie.
No, if somebody wants to, be a part of this, they're listening
Absolutely.
right now. How would they get in touch with you or somebody at the?
There's several ways. One way would be to go online with the Veterans Appreciation Committee of Meridian. You can find us on Facebook at Veterans Appreciation Committee of Meridian, and everyone is welcome to show up at our meetings once a month.
Facebook,
And
Veterans Appreciation. Yep.
Veterans Appreciation Committee of Meridian, and also, we take donations. I got a flyer here that it's on the back. It's even got a QR code, and so that's how we subsist is by donations, and we have people like literally, I've got a list that's almost as long as my arm, and of folks that donate to us, to include the Sonny Montgomery Foundation. In fact, I think they've taken it upon themselves to make sure we stay alive. And it's really wonderful what they do for us. And we got the PDK, we got the Moose, we got all these different organizations, the VFW Post 79. We've got all kinds of folks, and not to mention the VFW Post 12124 also helps out. Stronger Together as a veteran-oriented trying to help out the families of suicide victims, and so they partnered with us also, and we're just trying to keep people aware that veterans. We have shut-in veterans in the area, and we try to help them out. We have veterans all over that need just a little bit of help, and that's what the VAC is all about. And like I say, we're just charitable organization and living off the hearts of everybody.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know that G.V. Sonny Montgomery would applaud everything you're doing in this regard. So he definitely was all about the vets. And,
Absolutely.
would probably, if he was here and young enough, probably be on one of those motorcycles. but you mentioned your motorcycle. You do ride.
Yes, sir.
yourself.
I've been riding since I was 10 years old.
Will you be greeting them and riding with
Absolutely.
them?
I'm going to go to Tallulah, Louisiana. We'll stop off there. I can't remember the number of the exit. 177, I think it is. And
Sounds good to
there's
me.
a Love's Travel Center there, and they'll meet there about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there, and we'll take care. And I will ride with them up front and just guide them on in. We'll stop in Jackson at Earl's Harley Davidson, where they'll have a lunch, a little lunch there. From there, they're going to go to Morton. And in Morton, they're going to fuel up and have another small program. Then from there, I'm going to take an advance party of about 15 bikes, and we're going to go into Newton and stop at the Veterans Cemetery to lay a wreath there. And then from there, I'm going to bring those same guys into Meridian to the Doughboy Monument. We'll lay a wreath there, and at the Doughboy Monument, I'll lead them out towards the Ag Center, and hopefully we'll meet up with the main body all at the same time.
Very good.
So it's a well orchestrated thing. I mean, it's amazing when we start out on this, we start out 6 months early. I mean, I've been on this route for over 6 months now, just to make sure that we get it right, because I don't want them to ever go away from here saying, "Man, they just screwed it up." So I can't do that. I love the fact that they do acknowledge that we are the number one stop on the Southern route.
I think that is, from what you describe, I can certainly see why the volunteers that pour out their love and their support and their effort to, like you said, get the clothes cleaned up for them, get them fed, get them rested up. That is good. And folks, this is an event that's been going on. I've been watching it for years, and this will be your opportunity to go out there just take some time off, maybe a little early on that Monday, and go out to the bridge there on Martin Luther King Drive, or I guess there's other overpasses as well. But that's a prominent one there. And or line the road there at Highway 19. Don't get on the road, just out there in the grass there, or there as they enter into the Ag Center, and welcome them there. Just a good. I can't imagine what it must be like for these folks to see that kind of greeting when they arrive. It just has to be just a total heartwarming experience for these crusty old bikers.
They've only gone just a little bit over halfway by the time they get to us.
Yeah.
They still have to make it into D.C.
Yeah,
and I'm here to tell you, I've done it myself. I've left here 3 years in a row, going from here to D.C., riding with them, and let me tell you what, it is an extreme. I mean, it's a detail of patience. It really is, because it is hard to ride in an organized ride across the country.
Sure,
it's one thing to ride in an organized ride just around town for 100 miles.
Yeah.
And which I've done a bunch of bike rides.
It's your mama's poker run.
No, it's not.
I hear you. All right. Well, it's coming up Monday. It's the Run for the Wall. So if you want to get involved, go to Facebook and check out the
VAC, the Veterans Appreciation Committee of Meridian.
All right, the Veterans Appreciation Committee of Meridian, and get involved. And if so inclined, give a donation. How's that?
I need all the help I can get.
All right.
Hey, what time on Monday?
They should be riding through about 4:30, but sometimes they vary. They may be up to 30 minutes early.
Okay.
So if we can get folks out there, I'd say no later than 3:15, or 3:30, that'd be great.
Okay.
Wave these.
But make sure they have something to cover themselves, like an umbrella. Wave some small flags, even big flags. Just don't hit nobody, and don't drop anything on the people.
There you go. Please don't drop anything on the people. And all right, Officer Kirby.
Yes,
Patrick
sir.
Kirby, we're going to expect an after-action report.
Absolutely.
All
I'll
right,
get
sir.
you one. Thank you very much.
A triplicate on my desk the following morning. All right, we'll take a break for Fox News. Stay with us. And welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. We are now ready for the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Roger B. along with Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good to see you, sir.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're so happy to have here at the third part of the team, Mr. Charles Frazier. Let me turn your mic on, Charles.
No, here I am.
Okay, we're glad to have you back.
Okay, you weren't before, but now we are. So
That's
story,
right.
we're sticking to it. Okay.
That's exactly right. Well, I tell you what, it's been a good morning. So, I mean, having that visit with retired officer Marine Patrick Kirby, that was just nice. Always good to have him in the station here.
Mm-hmm.
You
cause.
Good cause. Run for the wall. Put it on your schedule. Monday between 4 and 5-ish. Get out there on the overpass and welcome these riders into town.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of, it's going to be very busy next several weeks. I know we got Jimmy Rogers stuff going on this week, but after that, a lot of different Memorial Day events, Veterans Day, not Veterans Day events, but veterans events like this and many others. So we need to get out there and wave the red, white, and blue proudly and support these folks. And the Run for the Wall has been, man, it's been a staple here for a long, long time. And I'm just, it always makes me happy to hear that's their favorite stop.
Yeah, it's great.
Meridian
We got to
is their
take pride in
favorite
that
stop.
and
That
make
is
it even better.
fantastic.
That's
So-
what we got to do. Yeah.
Imagine, yeah. I was going to be mean. I'm going to stop.
Be mean.
stop.
Why would you stop?
It was
I
going to
haven't
be.
stopped yet.
I'll kick you out of here.
Never stopped
It
being
was going to
mean
be a
before.
comparison of how we treat them as to how Hillary would treat them if they were to come to her town.
Or
Deplorable.
in New York or
I don't know where
from. Arkansas. I mean,
She was
Chicago?
she was the first lady of Arkansas. She was the first
that ain't
lady.
no lady.
She wasn't Bill's first lady. But she was the first lady of Arkansas.
Probably about number 30 or 40 in line for Bill.
I still love Hillary, though. I still love her.
Well,
My story, I'm sticking to it. Okay, Bill.
We don't sleep in the same rooms. I'm scared of her.
Probably not in the same house, you know?
I'm scared of her.
Sleep down the road.
she hasn't
Wow.
cooked my food in 40 years. I eat somewhere else.
Good idea.
Smart choice.
Yeah. Bill, do you want to try these muffins I baked? Nom.
I'm good. I'm on a diet. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, it's. I love this. I did reach out to Jeff Tate because he has an article that he's quoted in the Meridian Star,
Yeah.
and I just sent him a text. You might see it there. Just get on this station, talk about your article. Is it delivering sheetrock?
Shocker.
Well, okay.
Our state senator over there, he's delivering sheetrock.
It's a lot of money that's coming here to locally to our area. We need to talk about and good stuff. We'll get into that here shortly.
We might have somebody on the line here. Let's just check this out. Good morning, caller. Are you on the air with us?
I'm on the aisle there.
Oh, Myra there.
All right, here we are. We're going to check and see how things look out the front porch this morning.
On the road, on the wing with Roger.
On the road, on the wing.
That's right.
Tell me how in the world you're doing.
Doing fine right now.
Good, good. Keep it up, whatever you're doing.
Well, yesterday when you weren't present, there was some conversations about news and information, and if it wasn't for local news, I wouldn't have much idea about local geography, small towns and wind damage and house fires and such as that. And I wanted to share a discovery that I have made, and all that is associated with buying old wooden fishing lures and stabilizing the finish and putting new hooks, hard hangers and things on them.
Oh.
And and in the process, I watch my tracking. This is eBay stuff.
Yes.
And not expensive things, old garage finds, nothing more than a fisherman would pay for a new one, a current type thing. I don't go in for the big money collectible stuff. That's above my pay.
Now, you're selling on eBay, or you buying, or both?
No, buying. I'm buying
you're
them
buying.
and fishing them and
There you go.
enjoying looking at them and studying them. But in the process, I do this regularly. And in the watching the tracking, I've noticed how these things move across the country, whether it's from the West Coast to East Coast, and they fly through these distribution centers until they get to Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
they hang there for days before they get 100 miles or less to Meridian
Oh.
for out for delivery, as it's referred to.
Okay.
So I had filed about this with the USPS, and this is the discovery. They had a fire at the USPS facility in Jackson.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
That's right. As one carrier told me, they sure kept that quiet.
They should have kept that quiet.
They sure have. Kept
Oh,
that
now here's okay. They sure have. Now, did this affect people's mail itself, or just room?
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about the flow of mail, but did people's mail actually get burned up?
Well, none of mine show any signs of smoke damage or scorching, if you will.
Yeah.
But as I suggested, someone must have dropped their crack pipe into the mail cart.
That's where it went. I've been looking for that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I got on this fire, just a regular occurrence days before it gets here from Jackson, not knowing why. One of the lines of communication I had with was they were looking into it and didn't know if it was just lax personnel or just what had happened. And then finally I have gotten more accurate information. Could be a disgruntled employee started the fire. That's up to the postmaster general, whatever they do.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, they have kept it quiet.
Okay. All right. So they have.
And I'm sharing that for this reason, that if a lot of people buy things for different reasons that they can't get local, and if you see to where there's a hang-up, as I discovered in tracking, these things would go to Jackson Distribution, then they'd go to Flowood, Pearl, neighboring postal offices before they would actually be in transit to the destination.
Well, I know that if you put a letter in the box to me over in address is Tumsuba, actually, then that's going to go to the main office downtown. Then it's going to go to Jackson for sorting. Then it's going to come back to the downtown office here in Meridian. Then it's going to get distributed over to Tumsuba. I guess it'd go over to Tumsuba, and then it's going to come over to me. So yeah, it's interesting how our mail crosses town here in Meridian.
That's the point, Roger, that I made. Was our mail leaves Meridian in the afternoon, goes to Jackson for sorting, and it's back the next day for delivery. Yet when things come in nationwide or from wherever, they hang there for days.
I don't know why that is.
Well, there's a fire.
A fire. Evidently, there's a fire.
Fire.
Well, you know how it is about one cool night when we were all in bed? The postman left the lantern burning in the shed.
Now that's a story right there.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I guess I kind of got the impression that things were hanging up in Jackson even before there was a reported fire.
I would say they have been.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was shared with me that was being watched and trying to be resolved.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then to be followed by a fire unreported. It's a fire over there, Roger.
Fire.
You might want to tell those people to get out. There's a fire.
That's right. Don't.
Don't tell anybody. There's a burning building there.
That's right.
Oh, my mercy. Well, good conversation about all that, and I would love to see our mail service kind of tighten up a little bit.
But it kind of leads to, a whole lot of, it opens up a lot. Like, I didn't pay that bill because I never received it because it was probably burned up in that fire. You know what I mean? You can say that about
that's
anything.
a new one. Yeah.
I sent my tax return in, but
Got burned up in the
maybe it
fire.
got burned up in that fire in Jackson.
I sent that check. It was in the mail.
The check was in. I swear I sent it.
I think it got burned up in a fire.
Probably burned up, right?
And the advice from the Postal Service is that if you don't receive it in a couple of days, file again, and we'll research it.
Okay, they'll research it.
And if you don't hear anything from us in 2 weeks,
They have
file
mail
again.
researchers there. That's their title.
That's right.
That means
That's
they,
right.
You know where that letter goes.
I guess I have to understand, if you have tracking numbers, why do you need researchers now? I thought everything's being tracked.
This is in the complaint end of it.
Okay.
They track the complaints. That's the question.
That's right.
Okay.
Which is what I did, which is how I got the skinny on this.
Well, I'm so glad you shared the skinny with us because we didn't know there was a fire in the. We didn't know there was a fire down there in the
If
post
there's a
office.
hang up in your deliveries, you know why.
Okay, there you go. Well, that explains why I did not get the latest. I guess Field and Stream catalog.
Oh, I was going to think, which magazine is he going to choose? Keep it clean. Okay.
My next Wayfair
Oh,
magazine. Rob knows this. He went off.
yeah.
Don't know what that is. That's okay.
Did I understand you have a guest on the program?
We had one earlier. We had a guest on the program.
Oh, I heard Officer Kirby. I was thinking that you had someone elected senator.
No, we had just sent a nice text out to Jeff Tate to come in and talk about his article that we'll get to here in just a minute. But
I'd rather hear that.
he's busy hauling sheetrock today.
Oh, among other things, for sure.
Yeah.
Busy man.
Yeah, so he's a working man now.
That's what we like.
Yep.
The Lord loves a working man.
You know he does. He sure does.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. 601-485-9191. We'll get to that article in just a moment, but first I want to tell you about Jeff Tate and what a good man he is. Now, I think my insurance papers are all getting through the mail, but the good thing about it, you can go directly to his office right there on Highway 39 and talk to him.
Jeffrey Wilson.
Jeffrey Wilson.
Nah, you said Jeffrey Tate, but that's all right.
What?
I knew what you
Jeffrey
meant.
Tate.
But, I wonder,
Jeffrey Tate was on my
wonder
mind.
if the Postal Service has State Farm
Give
insurance.
Tate time. He may go into the insurance business
Take time.
next.
Take time, and he'll go in. It'll be
Another
Wilson
job.
and Tate. Tate and Wilson. That's right. Well,
Jeffrey Wilson Insurance.
right, and the post
State
office
Farm.
probably does not have State Farm insurance. But if you did and you had a fire, you know what? All you got to do is call Jeffrey Wilson, and he will take care of all your insurance needs. And here's the deal: when you combine your State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average. An average means you could save more, $889, almost $1,000 a year. Not too shabby. All you got to do is call Jeffrey Wilson, 601-483-8253. He's wearing khakis. He's like a good neighbor. That joke will never die. And the thing about Jeffrey is you see him all over town. It is fantastic. See him all over town. It's really important that you know your insurance agent. You want a guy, you don't call him Mr. Wilson, you call him Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I got a claim. My mail burned up, or whatever it's going to be. And you call him, and, of course, he'll take care of it. He'll navigate all of those little dangerous waters dealing with the insurance companies, and he will get you the money that you need.
There it is.
That's exactly right. Jeffrey Wilson, go see him, 2401 Highway 39 North, or, as I said, give him a call, 601-483-8253. He is not only like a good neighbor, he is a good neighbor.
Of course he is. All right, state distributing a little bit of money for projects around our area,
I'd like some
Rob.
of that.
According to the Meridian Star article, Jeff Tate quoted.
Yes, Jeff Tate and our local delegation was able to secure appropriations for a good bit of projects here in Meridian, Lauderdale County. I'll just go over the list here with you real quick. Included in the appropriations are $500,000 for the Meridian Regional Airport for its terminal upgrade project, which we've talked with Tom Williams on the show about. That's pretty exciting news. $2 million for repairs to Archusa Creek Water Park Dam, which broke in July of last year.
Yeah, they need to put a lake in there.
Yeah. So,
Well, damn.
Meridian Fire Department, $400,000 for the Meridian Fire Department.
Let me guess, cameras? No, I'm sorry.
You said it.
Well, they got to put out the fires in the mailroom.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, anyway.
The 400,000 just matched the cameras.
Yeah, right.
$1 million to address two bridges on Center Hill Martin Road in need of repair.
$1 million.
Yeah. $500,000 for street paving and infrastructure in Meridian.
Okay.
Okay.
$200,000 to the East Mississippi Veterans Memorial Park, located along Highway 11 near Key Field, and $500,000 for the City of Meridian's wastewater treatment plant. Also appropriated was funding for the Lauderdale County's volunteer fire departments to buy an off-road vehicle to be used in the event someone needs to be rescued from an area where current vehicles cannot safely kind of go into an off-road vehicle. $200,000 for Main Street Meridian as well. So,
I see.
So
How much for the vehicle you just said? The fire
they did not give a number on that. Just said there was funding appropriated to the volunteer fire.
'Cause I didn't know if they were thinking like a side by side or something like that.
So So thanks to our local delegation, that's some good funds for a lot of good things coming here.
And the thing you have to remember about that's money to be distributed. If they did not get it to us, it would have gone to other communities around Mississippi. I feel certain.
Yeah, because
Jeff Taken can
yeah, he
verify
said
that for me.
in the article the legislative process is complicated with more than 4,000 bills being filed each year. Most of those do not survive to become law, and those that do are often altered via amendments that can drastically change what the bill was intended to do outside of the appropriations funds there for East Mississippi and Lauderdale County. So, some infrastructure for Meridian, the wastewater treatment, volunteer fire departments, Archusa, of course, that's a big need.
Well, damn.
Down there. Yeah, well, damn. Got some damn bait.
Go down there and take a tour, right?
Yeah. so there you go.
I'm glad, Archusa really is a lovely park.
It is.
Without that lake, it just is, you got to have the lake. So I'm glad they're focusing on that.
Yeah. So, but that was the big number of all of those, $2 million for that project. And of course, with the city of Meridian, we mentioned the $400,000 for the Meridian Fire Department, and then $500,000 for, it says in here, paving and infrastructure in Meridian.
So that takes care of those 2 blocks.
Broad, right? Okay, paving and infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good deal. Well, all right, if you have any comments about this, that, or the other thing, you can give us a call at 601-485-9191. I wonder if you could put legislative action in there, say if you have a broken windshield, you must take it to Adam and
4,000 bills, you can add 4,001.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, take your broken windshield glass to A&A Glass.
That's right. It's the only place to take it. They've been the #1 glass replacement company here in town for 10 years running. I think they must be doing something right.
Years,
what do you think? Go see Adam and Adam. They're at 217 22nd Avenue. That's also called Sela Ward.
Calhoun Parkway.
That's the one.
I'm in trouble.
2 doors. You said it, not me. 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum. You know where they are. They're open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. They are fast, friendly, efficient. They'll work with their insurance company, and they will save you money if you need a whole replacement or you just need to kind of do a repair on it. Either way, Adam and Adam will hook you up.
There it
Go
is.
see them. A&A Glass. 601-693-GLASS. Yeah, that's easy to remember.
It really is. 693
Glass.
glass.
See, the last part's glass, and they're glass replacement.
And even though there's an extra S, it doesn't matter. It'll still dial on that.
Everybody needs an extra S in their life.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
And also, guys, real quick, graduations continuing this week, of course, with the weather kind of playing a big factor. Southeast Lauderdale will have their graduation tonight at the Lauderdale County Ag Center. So a lot of these graduations with the county were scheduled to be on the football fields this week. But as of right now, Southeast, West graduated at the Ag Center last night. Southeast is going to do the same tonight. Now, as of right now, Northeast is still planning to hold theirs at the football field on Thursday night. Clarkdale, there's the football field on Friday night, but there's more weather coming this week, so they may change those. The Ag Center's kind of plan B.
Do we have a severe weather alert yet this week? I think we had one last night, and we didn't even mention it yesterday. That was a missed opportunity. We'll probably have one later. So,
and also Meridian High will have their graduation on May the 24th at Ray Stadium at 9 o'clock that morning.
May 24th.
So there you go. There's your graduation update.
That's the lowdown.
People graduating. Remember those days, boys? When you graduated from high school? Wasn't that nice? Didn't that feel like you really done something?
Remember that? Yeah.
That's right. You had to. Yeah. Okay.
What?
It was that crowd you were hanging around. Y'all didn't remember anything that week.
Remember Dad saying, "Go get a job."
Yeah.
Get out!
Remember Dad saying something like, "Well, we enjoyed having you in our house for these 18 years, son.
Time's up. Time is up.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye."
Get out of here.
Which is a little bit unlike the millennial approach to things.
No, stay there till you're 35.
I like
Live in the basement. Play video games. It's fine.
Hey, Ma, the meatloaf, bring it down.
I like the comedian that says, one thing about millennials, that your parents will eventually be glad you're there again. It just takes a little time.
Yeah, once you need your diaper changed.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you come back or did you?
Yeah,
how
really.
long? Yeah, how long?
Who are you again?
Who are you? And you're the third child, right?
We're just gonna go out and protest something.
That's a good job. You get paid for that, don't you? No.
Yeah, well, they did. They made a mistake in started protesting in Florida, and that got shut down pretty quick yesterday.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go, right there. I'll tell you what, we'll take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian. I'm Roger. This is Rob. Charles is here.
Yep.
And we're going to, with this phone call, we're just going to blow right through Fox News because this is this is a VIP calling in here.
Oh, excuse me.
My best behavior.
Good morning, caller. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How you fellas doing this morning?
Oh, man. Jeff Tate checking in here this morning. You must have put
from Hickory, Mississippi. It's a muddy mess over here in Hickory. I tell you what.
The only politician, the only mud he'll throw is it's actually that joint compound on that drywall.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say it's kind of white and it hardens, So,
Yeah.
That's something we'll throw.
Well,
What's
tell
going
me.
on this morning, fellas?
Well, we're just looking about the money that's coming back to the Meridian area. Rob was reading that out of the paper, so we thought, you really need to be on this station talking about it live. So here you are. Thank you for answering the call.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let me just say, this is a delegation type thing. There's no one person that deserves credit. Me, Billy Adams, Steve Horn, Tyler McCon, Troy Smith. I mean, we really have a great working relationship, and that's actually what was talked about a lot in that COG meeting yesterday. Is that that's something that hadn't always been there, in Jackson. But it before my time, I don't know what it was like, but they just act like that. People working together, you get more things accomplished.
Yeah.
So I think that for the 2024 session, I think we had a pretty fair shake of being able to get appropriated some dollars this way that'll go to some worthwhile projects and be able to lighten the burden on your local tax base, which is me, you, and your listeners.
Well, let me fact check what I said because I expressed the opinion that these are funds that probably, if they did not come to our area of the state, they would have been distributed somewhere else.
100%.
Is that true?
100%.
Okay.
It's not like it was going to be a savings if it didn't come here. In other words, it was going to go to DeSoto County or Madison County or somewhere else. And so you may have the list in front of you.
Yep.
One of the top things that I really was going for was to try to help out Archusa.
Yep.
They had a horrible dam that burst last summer, and it's really just it's really bad down there in Quitman. And so I was glad that we were able to get some funds to be able to go fix that. At the same time, last session of 2023, we were able to get money to pave North Hill Street, and I think that's worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, I haven't seen the first pothole yet. And usually when you see some paving, there's a pothole that occurs pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But we were able to get some money to go towards paving here in Lauderdale County. We were able to get some money towards our fire departments. Roger, you'll appreciate this. That new terminal that they're trying to buy, we were able to get some money to go to that for the Meridian Airport Authority.
Yeah.
And there's a few others in there that we were able to accomplish. But I'll be honest with you, in that article, it's lacking what I think was the greatest accomplishment.
Okay.
And that was what we were able to stop. It said in Jackson that you spend your first 4 years trying to pass a bill, spend the rest of your legislative career trying to kill bills.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's something that we were able to do this year. I don't know if y'all knew this, and I apologize for not coming on more frequently to give updates, but the frustrating thing with the legislative process is, we have over 4,000 bills, and you have to vote on these bills multiple times, and you never know what the final outcome will be because they can be amended. And so if I gave you an update within 24 hours, it may be something different, and I don't want to mislead anybody.
Well, we absolve you of your sins and go and sin no more. And forgiveness given.
Can I get some of that?
You're here today, and that's what counts.
What really gave me, what kept me up the most at night, what made me the most nervous this session was that we were going to experience judicial redistricting. We were going to experience a change in who votes for our district attorney, who votes for our circuit judges, who votes for our chancery judges, and we in Lauderdale County become a liberal district where we have a liberal district attorney, we have liberal circuit judges, and if you think crime is bad right now, what does it matter if we have a judge and a DA that won't prosecute them and sentence them like they should? And that's what we were facing.
Whatever happened to the good old days when the district attorneys and judges, they were all supposed to be objective and neutral? Whatever happened to those days? Or did we ever have those days?
George Soros and his money, I guess. What had happened is our district currently is Kemper, Lauderdale, Clark, and Wayne County. Now, when you combine those counties, you have a red district. Okay, you're gonna get a Republican that's elected. Now, our judges run nonpartisan, but that's for the voters to decide who's conservative, who's not. Under the new proposed bill that came out of nowhere, I mean, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
It was going to change us to be Lauderdale, Kemper, and Noxubee County.
Oh,
longer have Clark, no longer have Wayne. We were going to go blue. We were going to have, and I'm not exaggerating when I say we were going to have George Soros come here with hundreds of thousands of dollars in 2027 and get us our most radical district attorney elected in the Democratic primary, and then they were just going to steamroll whoever our Republican nominee was.
Wow.
Because the district was going to be blue. And so I will say hats off to Tyler McConn. Me and him both, he's vice chair of the Judd A committee, which is where this bill originated from. He was blindsided as well. And it was going to affect Newton County and Scott County, which is where he represents.
Who introduced this bill? Do we know who actually introduced it for this purpose, or is that something?
I'll tell you. Well, I mean, it's public record. His name's Bryce Wiggins. He's down on the coast. I went to him and asked him, just exactly where did you decide who influenced you to do this? And he said, Jeff, if we can talk out of session, I'd appreciate it. And I said, well, as long as you help me fix this, I'm okay. And he did. He went along with it. So myself, Tyler McConn, a couple others, we introduced an amendment that was going to change it. That would have us back in a red district. And I'm telling you, that's what gave me the most heartburn this session. And we voted on a bunch of different things. A lot of things never did end up coming.
So it sounds like some external influence surrounding his district put this in the hopper.
I'll say someone. All I can do is speculate. I'm gonna have that conversation with them, and I'll know, and I'll come on the show, and I'll let it all be known. But
yeah, I think that needs to be known.
Yeah,
I think someone that's higher up in the Senate really wanted to try to mess with our district, and we were able to get the villagers out with their torches and pitchforks, and we were able to get some things changed to where we kept it red. Well, that bill ended up not even passing. We were able to kill that bill. And I literally went to every member of the Senate and asked them how they felt about their district. And I explained to them how it was in my district. And, some of them were happy with their changes. Some were not happy. And I just let it be known that, whether I get project money or not, whether I get any of my bills passed or not, my number one priority is keeping Lauderdale County red, and I will burn it to the ground before we do anything else in this capital. And we were able to get enough momentum with that that we were able to kill this bill. Now, it can come back again next year, after next year, due to legislative rules. This cannot happen for another decade. But that's just something that I know there was a lot of good things accomplished in that article. That's great. But I think our best accomplishment was killing a bill that, y'all think about it, fellas. Imagine if we have a district attorney that does not want to prosecute. We have circuit judges that don't want to sentence.
Imagine if we had a brag.
Oh gosh.
A brag in Meridian.
So
yeah,
that's part of what went on. And if I'm sent over there to do anything, I think that's the number one thing that we need to do is to fight junk like that happening. And I'm glad that we were able to get it killed. We'll be back again next year to, again, be number one priority. It'd be, like I said, we'll burn this to the ground before we do anything else. Because without rule and law and order, what do we really have here?
Yeah,
and we're seeing it in other parts of the country where George Soros is pumping in. And I'm not trying to have it as a scare tactic. He is doing this. He is he loves to find areas that he can throw money into and make the red go to purple and make the purple go to blue.
Yeah.
That's just what he does. That's his hobby.
Well, Jeff, real quick, it's Rob. Want to commend the governor yesterday for putting his signature on Senate Bill 2753. I think it was a pretty common sense bill. It's sad that we have to go through a bill like that, but we're talking about the SAFER Act. And
100%.
and
yes, sir. I was co-author on that.
Yeah, I was real happy to see that one push through. So,
isn't that a shame
Yeah.
that we have to do it? For people that don't know, this is talking about protecting my daughters, protecting all of our children out there from who's able to go into what kind of bathroom and all the other things that
Isn't that crazy?
you just don't think about because we shouldn't have to think about it.
no.
Right.
But unfortunately, that's the world that we're in. And, I've heard somebody say this, we're in a modern day Tower of Babel where the left is speaking and the right just does not understand what they're saying. It just does not make any sense at all.
Mm.
And I'm glad that we were able to get that done. It was one of the later bills that was able to get pushed, but as long as we got it done, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who gets credit. It's just a matter of getting it done. And so, yes, sir, I'm glad he signed it as well.
Yeah, I got a pretty big smile on that one yesterday. It's sad that we have to do these type of bills, but I'm glad that we're one of the many states in America that are doing that, at least putting legislation forward to protect our young women out there. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you what, I appreciate you coming on the show and talking about that defeat of
Yeah.
I'm sorry I changed the subject on y'all, but I really do think that's the priority.
Well, see, you were there front row to this. We didn't capture the whole significance of that. I mean, I heard there was this judicial redistricting, but I didn't know if that was required by law or just what the case may be.
Well, I'll tell you what's ironic. Judd A., which is a committee that I'm not on, a fellow senator friend of mine, he was going to pass a bill through that committee. I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a young kid up in Starkville that through this daggum revenge porn stuff took his own life.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was going to present that bill in Judd A. And I said, man, listen, I want to be there for you. I'll be on the sidelines cheering you on just to give you some, moral support. As I walk in there, we're handed packets, and only the senators are handed packets. No one, it's open to the public, but not everybody can sit in the same area. Anyway,
Right. Yeah.
I'm just there to give them support, and I'm handed the packet of everything that'll be voted on in that committee. And an odd thing happened. The committee assistant said, no one is to leave this room with this packet. Now, they don't ever tell us that.
Oh.
And that got my antennas up. It was almost a God thing for me to be there.
Yeah.
I open that thing up. I start flipping through pages. What are they about to vote on? Because all you have are these bill numbers. You don't have any titles. You don't know what it is. It's just a number. I'm flipping through, and literally a bill number within 5 minutes changes. It's amended to having our district remain the same, to our district changing to what I told you, which was a liberal district.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I started taking pictures. Like, if I can't leave this room with this packet, I'm going to leave the room with my phone.
Yeah.
So I take a picture of page after page after page. I send it to all our judges. I get on the phone with them. I tell them, look, I can read through this. Y'all need to look through this. I think this is bad, really bad. And so literally before the bill could even get out of committee, we started the process of getting our folks ready that have the influence in Jackson to get the thing to get this changed, to get it defeated. And it's
that does sound providential. That is amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
So it was a God thing that I just happened to be there, and that I was just there to help him with the bill that took the life of that kid up in Starkville.
Right.
And no one knew that was coming. Tyler McConn, who represents Scott and Newton and a little bit of Lauderdale, a little bit of Rankin, he's vice chairman of that committee. He didn't know that was coming on. He was taken back by it.
See, that's scary. It's scary, the powers that are working behind the scenes in our House. Yeah,
that's the biggest eye opener I've had in these 5 sessions is how much power is in two little hands. And I'm gonna tell you now, and I may be in the minority on this, but I promise you, when all of that junk was going on in Washington to try to make the Speaker of the House be less powerful,
right,
I can see where that would be great in Jackson. We need to have the power distributed amongst those that are elected, not in the few that are in leadership. And so I try to defend, Matt Gaetz and those people whenever they were, and I don't know if they were doing it all in vain or not, but I can tell you that the more power leadership has, it's not good. It's not good.
Well, here's what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen when you have that conversation. It needs to be known who the source money was getting to influence this, and that person needs to be brought out in the public light.
100% agree, and I'm
or
getting
people,
close.
those people or persons, whatever that case may be.
I think person. I have a suspect.
All right. Well, that's continue your investigation, sir, and let's work to get that all out there to see who's really wanted to undermine our community.
Yes, sir. And hey, I'm glad that we were able to get some money here. Again, those are services that either taxes would have to be raised or services be cut to do those things, and I think it helps everybody in Lauderdale County.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Poor, rich, black, white, Republican, Democrat.
He represents you in Jackson, and he still has time to haul crawfish and haul sheetrock.
I need a little sheetrock in my house. I need to bring some crawfish too.
Yeah.
We boil the sheetrock. I can.
There we go.
It don't taste so good.
I
Yeah.
can't carry them in my hand anymore. Left hand. The sheetrock, for some reason, I'm ambidextrous with the sheetrock. It's the darndest thing.
Yeah, come in the studio when you can, but we do appreciate you calling there, sir.
Yes, sir. We'll do it soon. You fellas take care.
Thank you,
Appreciate
All
it.
right, thanks,
Thank
Jeff.
you for your time, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Tate, of course, senator for our area to Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
2 thumbs up.
That story is definitely an answer to, do you have the right person over there right now?
I don't want to hear Rhino ever associated with that man.
Not after that story.
No.
That's there's other reasons, but that story seals the deal right there.
Yeah.
But
doing a hell of a job
Yeah.
over there.
there you go.
Looking out for us.
And of course, just to show you that we do have the right delegation, there's another person who has a business here to run in town, but he represents us as well in Washington in the legislature, Billy Adam Calvert.
That's right. He won't bring you crawfish, but he will bring you office supplies. All you got to do is go to southernbusinesssupply.com and order, and it will be delivered to your office or home the next day.
Wow.
Can't beat it.
That's huge.
Of course,
That's great.
locally owned and operated. And when you buy local, where does your money stay?
Right here.
It doesn't go to Amazon or one of those other places. That's right. It stays right here in Meridian. And, of course, they're located right there on Dale Drive, 5685 Dale Drive, just up the road in Marion, Mississippi. You'll find Southern Business Supply, and they've got a full room of office furniture as well. Whether you need desks, chairs, you name it, they've got it up there. So if you need staples, staplers, paper, any of those things, office supplies, they'll bring it to you, or you can go check out all their furniture as well. SouthernBusinessSupply.com is the easiest way to do it, or go see them 5685 Dale Drive. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or just give them a call, 601-485-2447. Just say no to the big box store and yes to Southern Business Supply.
There it is.
It is.
If the Republicans ever get full control, Congress and the White House, please do whatever you can to emasculate the Soros organization, please. Please. We'll be right back. Come on.
Ooh, Sunday morning,
Bobby Darin.
Come on.
lies a body
Mm-hmm.
just oozing life.
He would have been 88 years old. Bobby Darin, born on this day in 1936. Let's see, other birthdays going up the list here. Let's see, actress Kate Blanchett, 55 today. All right, good actress. I just enjoy her. Let's see, somebody just an idea. Some of the birthdays you're working on there. Let's see, George Lucas. George Lucas, 80 years old.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George. Anyway, lots of birthdays. Happy birthday if today is yours on the 14th of May. Get yourself something really nice, will you? Roger along with Rob, and of course, Charles is in the house. Caller on the line. Good morning. Thank you for holding. Welcome to our show.
Well, you know, I'm listening to you talk about the guys and gals or whoever that represent us in this area,
Yes, sir?
and it thrills me to know that every one of those that you have mentioned has a real job.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
And you know, I think about those yahoos up in Washington. Some of them have never, ever had a real job. And I think it was designed the way we do it in our Mississippi delegation rather than our Washington delegation.
It all started out with these men going to Washington or Philadelphia, wherever the case may be, when this country started, and they take care of the nation's business, and they go back to their farms and practices of law and things like that and do business.
And don't get rich doing other things.
Oh.
Boy,
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm surprised we got two Democrats on the hot seat right now. Well, even their wives are too, but kind of interesting. But,
Now, who are you speaking about?
You got Mendoza.
Oh, yeah, Mendoza.
yeah, and what's the other one?
Oh, Quavar, something like that.
Quavar,
Yeah.
Quavar, yeah. No, speaking to Deutsch. No,
Didn't they used to make
I'll let
TVs,
that go.
Quavars?
Quavars.
Yeah. VCRs. I think I have one of those.
That was
Didn't work-
next to the
Didn't work
Zenith.
very well.
But anyway, that was just a thought I had as you were talking about those people.
Did you hear Jeff Tate's interview about the? He was calling in and he told the story about the attempt to redistrict our judicial districts.
No, I missed it.
Oh, you missed a good one, my
man.
brother. You would definitely be very appreciative of the work that he did on that. That's for sure.
Well, I'm appreciative of a lot of the work that he does, both
Yeah.
in the Capitol and out of the Capitol.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, y'all have a great Tuesday.
Well,
Yes,
it
sir.
is. We're gonna.
It is Tuesday.
All right, Tuesday. It's
We will.
it's
14th of May, 2024.
That's
Yes.
it. That's
Sounds
today.
right. Yeah, pretty sure that's it.
You're looking at the right calendar.
Okay, good. I just wanted to be sure.
Okay, thank you. 601-485-9191. Yep, would love to. Well, this show is just speeding through here. We're about 2 minutes now before the top of the hour. So.
That is scary, though. He goes into a room and they give him those packets and they can't leave with that. And,
That's
and
just
it's
weird, is you can't leave with this.
And then all of the bill numbers
Right.
and stuff's amended on there. I mean, that's pretty eye-opening stuff for folks out there.
Let's see if we can sneak this through.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what that just smells to high heaven.
Well, you know, you got to do the Nancy Pelosi thing. We just got to pass it before we, can
Or
what's
you
in the
even
bill.
read it.
Yeah,
right.
read the bill.
Find out what's in it after
I know
we
what's in it
pass
after
it.
we pass it.
That was so telling, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That one little. But anyway, there's too many people that don't care. There's just too many that don't care. All right, we've got one time, about a minute for another call. Good morning, caller.
I'm just curious. 3 supervisors can't get together and talk about anything because of open meeting law, and yet our state legislature can hide stuff even from its own membership?
Hey,
That don't sound right.
doesn't that
Nope.
stink?
I agree.
That needs to be brought out. That needs to be investigated and brought out. Exactly. But
All right, well-
good to hear from you, Wolfman.
Yeah, I finished that last minute of the show. Y'all can go on with your Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Help us
Appreciate
out.
that.
Right.
All right, sir. Oh, old Wolf checking in there.
Hey, Wolf.
We'll take a break, about a 22-hour break.
Let's do it.
Come back tomorrow and do some more programming. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Stay tuned for some good stuff, though, because you've got Glenn Beck followed by Buck Sexton and Clay Travis. Sean Hannity.
Ooh, martial arts. Yeah, he does.
And 5 o'clock drive with Joe Pags. Enjoy your day, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless and bye.